So, good afternoon to each and everyone. So, we are now going to discuss the Module 1 or the Introduction to Compensation Administration. Okay, so by the way, I am Michael Darwin D. Domingo. Yes, your subject professor for this subject. Okay, so technically, the overview of the uh, compensation administration in Philippine context. Oo, tama. So, ang base natin is yung kung ano yung ginagamit natin mismo dito sa Pilipinas para mas madali nyo siyang maintindihan. Okay? So, let's start with the basic of this topic. Okay? So, for you to have an overview, ito yung mga i-discuss natin. Okay? So, we define compensation, explain its objective, analyze the framework, the components, we are going to identify each, and then review some theories. Okay? Okay. So let's start with the nature of compensation. Okay, so ano nga ba itong compensation? Yan. Ano nga ba, pag sinabing compensation, ano nga ba siya? Okay? They say that compensation encompasses all forms of financial returns and the tangible services and benefits employees receive as part of an employee relationship. So compensation per se are financial returns or pwede nating sabihin na payment. Okay? Financial payment for the services rendered. Or pwedeng ano naman din daw, pwedeng mga benefits na nare-receive ng isang empleyado. Okay? So ibig sabihin, such financial returns or financial payment, that is because nag-exercise ka ng service or nag-extend ka ng service. Tulad niyan, halimbawa, nagtrabaho ka for 4 hours. Siyempre, dapat babayaran yung 4 hours mo. Tawag natin doon ay compensation. Sir, hindi ba tawag doon ay salary? Yes, yun din naman siya. Okay? Tama naman yung sinabi mo. Kung ito man ay salary o wages man yan, kaya nga ang sabi, all forms. Now, speaking of all forms, no, pwede natin kasi siyang makita into two. We have this direct compensation at saka yung indirect. So, ano yung pinagkaiba? Okay? Direct compensations includes your base pay or salary. So, ito na yung sinasabi mo, yung salaries and wages. So, yun ay nasa kategorya ng direct compensation. Now, ano pa? Incentives and commissions. And as well as yung mga performance bonuses. So, yan naman ang lumalabas ng mga direct compensation mo. Okay? Um, Speaking of performance bonuses, no? Minsan kasama dyan pati yung profit sharing. Profit sharing. O kaya minsan, meron pa yung mga stock options. So lahat ng ito, these are direct monetary rewards wherein you can deposit it into your bank kung sakali may bangko ka man pag na-receive mo. Pero ito ay still part ito ng iyong direct compensation. Ngayon, since may direct compensation, meron din tayong indirect compensation. Your indirect compensations, these are benefits o yung sinasabi nga ng mga non-monetary benefits and services. So, ano-ano naman to? Okay? So, sabi nga nila, these are the benefits and perks that monetary value but aren't paid directly as cash. Kaya nga, non-monetary benefits. Now, ano daw yung mga kasama dito? Number one, health insurance. Kung may health insurance ka pero hindi mo naman nakukuha yan, hindi naman yan ibibigay sa iyo. Di ba? Ano pa ba? Retirement plan. Yan. So, ano pa ba? Work-life perks and leaves. Minsan, meron pa yung mga life insurance, meron pa yung mga educational assistance, no? And there are some organizations that even offer them gym membership. O, di ba? Meron pang may pa ganun. Then, yung iba meron pang free meals. O kaya naman meron silang mga childcare services. Kunwari may anak ka, hindi mo maiiwan, 'no? Kailangan mo isama sa trabaho. So, meron silang ganyang klase ng services. Depende sa kumpanya. Okay? So, all of these have real economic value even though they don't show up in your paycheck or hindi mo siya makukuha in cash. Yan. So, what is so good about this case is that compensation can act as a strategic tools for employees' motivation, which is totoo naman talaga, no? Talaga namang let's face it and let's be honest, 'di ba? A good compensation is a good employee motivation, 'di ba? Talagang talaga namang sabihin na natin na ang lakas makahatak ng isang magandang compensation package, 'di ba? Kasi ano 'yan eh, ah we're talking about money, no? So this compensation is not just an employee motivation, but it is a requirement for legal compliance, no? Kasi kailangan talaga pag may patrabaho ka, may bayad, magbabayad ka. Okay? So yan guys ang basic about what compensation is. Now, what are the objectives of compensation? Or sabihin na natin na what makes compensation management important? 'Di ba? Bakit nga ba mahalaga na merong pang compensation management? Bakit di na lang natin basta bigyan sila ng pasweldo o kaya naman ibigay na lang natin yung minimum, 'di ba? Pero bakit may mga sweldo, may mga salary, may compensation na mas mataas pa sa minimum? Yun. Kaya nga the objective of compensation management here is to ensure that we balance organizational goals with employees' satisfaction. Take note, we balance organizational goals with employees' satisfaction. So then, what are the primary objectives of compensations? Okay, so number one is attraction and retention. Sabi nga nila, a competitive package helps attract qualified candidates and retain valuable employees. Retain valuable employees. Mag-stick sila sa'yo. Di ba? Siyempre nga naman, if the compensation package is really inviting, talagang makakahatak tayo ng mga highly qualified applicants. At kung sila naman ay naka-in na, 'di ba? Magagawa natin na mapanatili sa atin yung mga valuable, no? Mga highly efficient employee. Therefore, we can reduce turnover costs and those associated recruitment costs kasi nga they will stick with us, 'di ba? Lalo na ngayon, guys. In today's competitive labor market, talented individuals have their choices. Pwede silang mamili, 'di ba? Natural, pipiliin mo na yung may magandang compensation package. So that's why we have to make sure that our compensation package is both attractive and talagang will invite retention. So again, hindi tayo lumalayo sa premise na balancing organizational goals with employees' satisfaction. Number two. Number two is about motivation. So as I mentioned kanina, motivation and performance enhancement. Okay? So sabi nga nila, properly structured compensation system can motivate employees to perform at their best, aligning individual goals with organizational objectives. 'Di ba? So anong point, 'di ba? Yung performance-based pay na sinasabi nila, this one is aligned with the individual's efforts within the organization. Or pwede din nating sabihin na a well-designed compensation system can drive the behavior and the results that you want from your employees. 'Di ba? So let's say daw ganito gawin natin. When you tie a pay to performance through bonuses, commissions, or incentive plans, you're sending a very clear message about what the organization values. If you reward sales performance, you get more focus on sales. If you reward innovation, you encourage creative thinking. So ano ang point? So, ibig sabihin, a good compensation offer or a good compensation package really motivates your employee to perform better, to perform at their best. Di ba? So, yun ang maganda. Di ba? Kasi talagang mapupush natin sila na magtrabaho ng mas maganda pa. So, that's number two. The next one is, syempre, nandyan din yung equity and fairness. Okay? So, anong ibig mong sabihin? Equity and fairness ensures fairness within the organization. And, syempre, in comparison to industry standards, this fosters a sense of justice among employees, which can enhance their morale and their loyalty. Those employees who are highly sensitive to fairness, no? If people are doing similar work but paid differently without good reason, this creates resentments. It also reduces their morale. Therefore, this may lead to some legal problem. Anong ibig sabihin? Parang ganito. Si A, B at C. Ang trabaho nila pare-parehong clerk. Clerk, pare-pareho din ang ginagawa. Pero si A, mas malaki yung sweldo kumpara kay B at saka kay C. Ang tanong, okay ba sa'yo yun? Di ba hindi? Kukwestiyonin mo siya ngayon. Teka, bakit mas malaki ang sweldo ni A? Eh pareho lang naman ang trabaho namin. Oh, di ba unfair yun? Yan na. So, nawawala yung equity and fairness and this will leads to several problems. Baka nga madoli ka pa pag nangyari yan. 'Di ba? Kaya nga sinasabi natin ngayon that effective compensation management ensures internal equity. Sa loob pa lang to ng organisasyon, ha? An internal equity that people are paid fairly relative to others in the organization. Okay? Except, syempre, kung magkaiba talaga yung trabaho. Kung magkaiba yung trabaho, wala tayong magagawa doon. Pero sa external, ibig sabihin, sa labas, wala rin tayong magagawa doon. No? Kahit sabihin mong clerk sa atin, clerk sa kabilang company, magkaiba yung sweldo, wala tayong magagawa doon. Magkaiba yun kasi hindi natin kontrolado yun. Okay? And the fourth one is legal compliance. Okay? So, syempre, we need to adhere to government regulations. Diba? Hindi tayo pwede magbigay ng hindi minimum wage. Dapat. Minimum nga eh. So, ibig sabihin, yun na yung pinakamababa na dapat mong ibigay. O, diba? So, kung magbibigay ka ng mas mababa pa doon sa minimum wage, baka magkaproblema ka. Baka ma-penalize ka. 'Di ba? So, it doesn't mean na kapag nagbigay ka ng minimum wage, utang na loob ng mga empleyado yun. No, na. No, no, no. Bakit? Kasi you have to follow the law. Ayan. You have to follow the law. Kasi yan talaga ang ano eh. Yan talaga ang nakasaad sa batas. Okay? So, siyempre, kailangan natin sumunod dyan sa batas. Okay? Next is cost management. Yun. So, cost management dito, organizations aims to design a compensation structures that are cost effective while still being attractive to employees. Therefore, we balance financial sustainability with employee satisfaction. Okay? So, napaka-importante nitong part na 'to, 'di ba? Kasi ano eh, kapagka ang empleyado kasi nag-resign, meron niyang corresponding cost, yung turnover costs. So that's why we need to retain them, no? Kailangan yung package natin is inviting enough pero hindi naman tayo magsa-suffer. Again, babalik tayo doon sa premise na we balance organizational goals with employees satisfaction. Okay? Now, sir, bakit medyo mahirap ba ito? Actually, in most organization, compensation is a single largest operating expense. Ano ibig sabihin? Ang compensation ang isa sa may pinakamalaking portion ng kanilang expenses. Minsan, 40 to 70% of the total cost ay nanggagaling sa compensation. Therefore, kung ganito rin lang naman, managing compensation effectively means getting the best returns on our investments. That's why we attract and retain good talents. Kasi pagka nanatili sila sa atin, nababawasan yung ating costs. Bakit? Kasi hindi na natin kailangan ulit mag-undergo ng recruitment, ng selection, 'di ba? Ng training. Lahat 'yan, guys, ay may gastos. Yun. So that's why if we have a good compensation structure, no, the effectiveness of the structure means cost savings for us. Ayan. And finally, syempre, ayan, culture alignment. Ayan. So dito, sabi nga nila, the compensation system can be designed to reward behaviors and outcomes that is aligned with the organization's culture and values, promoting desired organizational behavior. So it can reinforce the culture, no, that we should follow yung ating organizational culture. Okay? So truly, compensation is a very good it is a strategic component of human resource management. Talagang napakalaking factor ng compensation administration or compensation management in the overall human resource management. Kasi lagi natin iniisip talaga that we should attract talented applicants, talented employees. Then we find ways how to motivate them and retain them to be our employees, ensuring yung ating legal compliance and organizational competitiveness. Sa Pilipinas, understanding the nature and objective of compensation is vital for developing effective human resource policy that contributes to both employee satisfactions and organizational success. Now, speaking of the alignment, no, strategic alignment, as you can see dito sa my right side, ayan siya, compensation objectives, ito yan, and then match with employees' behavior towards our organizational outcome. Okay? So kaya napaka-importante that we should be very particular about our compensations objective, no? At kung ano nga ba ang gusto nating mangyari. Next is on the classifications of compensations. So, with regards to the classification, no? Okay, ayan. Classifications of compensations. Yan. So we have number one, the legal mandates. Okay. So anong ibig sabihin? Under RA 6758, no, it established a unified compensation and position classification system for all government entities. So this RA 6758 is for government employees. So ito yung tinatawag nilang Compensation and Position Classification Act of 1989. okay, enacted noong August 21, 1989. This one prescribes a revised compensation and position classification system in the government. It aims to ensure equal pay for substantial equal work and to base differences in pay upon substantive differences in their duties. Naka-indicate dito guys, no? Naka-indicate kasi dito kung ano yung ah, pay classification mo depende sa iyong posisyon. Siyempre, for every position, ito ay may corresponding na bigat ng responsibility. At saka siyempre yung mga requirements, 'no, hindi naman puwedeng walang requirements yun. So, meron din 'tong kasamang requirements. Okay. Okay. Now, the PCS or the Position Classification System, this is also under RA, RA 6758, okay? So, nakalagay dito kung ano yung klase ng, klase or yung kind or subject matter of the work, the level of difficulties and responsibilities, the qualification requirements for the work. Okay? So, yan ang mga makikita mo dyan. Okay? Pero lahat ito guys, no, under RA 6758, under core principle of equal pay for substantially equal work. So, ibig sabihin, nakabase talaga kung ano yung trabaho mo sa magiging sweldo mo. Okay? So, kaya ano, kaya ang ang system sa government guys, nakabase ang determination ng kanilang salary bracket ay nakaabase sa 6758, sa RA 6758. So, siguro sa mga ibang mga pagkakataon, pwede nating himay-himayin yan lahat, no? Pero sa ngayon, nasa ano lang tayo, bird's eye view lang muna tayo. Okay. Now, position categories. Yan. So, under position categories, we have professional supervisory, then professional non-supervisory, sub-professional, and sub-professional non-supervisory. So maraming klase kasi yan. Okay? So halimbawa, professional supervisory, it requires a degree. Yan. Plus leadership role, like sa mga department head. Yan. Ito ng mga professional non supervisory requires degree and individual contributor role. Pero kung gusto mo yung mga beginner, mga ganon, so yung mga medyo basic o mababa, doon tayo papasok sa sub-professional non-supervisory at saka doon sa sub-professional supervisory. Yan yun. Okay? Next is the compensation plan and job evaluation. Now, compensation plan outlines the salary grades and corresponding compensation for various position. So ito ay kasama pa rin ito guys doon sa RA, no? Kasama pa rin to doon sa RA 6758, nandun pa rin siya. Now, dito guys, no, sa compensation plan, naka-indicate kung ano yung salary grade. So ito ay may numerical representing the relative value of position. For example, no? Salary grade is SG. Yan yung sinasabi sa mga government na SG. SG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Ang pinakamataas yata ay SG 33. Yan. So kung SG 33 ka, pumapalo na ang sweldo mo sa loob ng isang buwan eh mga kulang 500,000 per month. Ayan. Per month yun kulang. Okay, so humigit kumulang mga kalahating milyon yan. Okay, yung salary rate, yun yung corresponding. Kunwari, SG 33. Ang rate, 450,000 pesos per month. Yun. Yun ang nakalagay sa compensation plan. Okay? Ngayon, syempre meron din 'tong mga allowances and benefits na kasama. Okay? Depende kasi yan sa posisyon. Okay? So, kung ikaw ay mga SG 18, tapos nasa department head level ka, most likely meron kang mga allowances. Oh, may transpo allowance, ganun. Merong rata, representation, and transportation allowance, mga ganun-ganon. So, depende. Okay, depende. Ngayon, paano naman dire-determine yun? That is through job evaluation. So meron tayong iba't ibang job evaluation methods. So number one is the classification method. Positions are grouped into classes based on similar duties, responsibilities, and qualifications. Has a uh, each has a class corresponds to a specific salary grade. So, for example, yan, yung department head level, ganon. O kaya naman, ang tawag sa'yo, clerk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yung point factor, yun, doon nakalagay naman kung ano yung number. So, kunwari, clerk, classification method. Classification yon. Tapos, meron point factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. May mga ganon. So, each one ay merong prescribed number of points. Ganon ang ganon ang ginagawa sa job evaluation. For example, training. Halimbawa, training. Ang maximum points ng training ay 5. So, yun na yung maximum 5. Tapos, educational attainment. Halimbawa, ang maximum 30. Yun. So, ibig sabihin, ay i-add natin yung points. Yan. Tapos titignan kung saang bracket ka pumasok. Kunwari, ang total mo 41. Tapos ang 41 points pala, ang magiging position mo under classification methods and point factor method, ikaw ay magiging department head 1. So yun na yung magiging yun na yung magiging position mo. Okay? So ganito yun. Ang salary grade mo 18. Ang salary rate mo 50,000. Yun. Ganun na yun. Okay? So, yan guys ay ginagawa natin, no? Ginagawa yan sa government sector. So, the objective of this is to ensure a systematic and objective compensation management. Although napakaganda nito guys, kaya lang alam niyo naman sa government, minsan ito ay naaabuso. Oh, sad to say, naaabuso naman talaga. Kasi minsan, hindi nawawala pa rin yung palakasan system, di ba? Yung whom you know. Sad to say, may ganun pa rin. Minsan nga, meron pa nepotism. Ayun. Yun lang ang nakakalungkot ko. Para may hugot, no? Ayan. So, these are the components naman. Okay. So, what are the components of compensations? Yan. So, tignan natin, ano-ano nga ba ang components ng isang compensation system? Siyempre, number one daw is the base pay. Oo, base pay. Ano ba ibig sabihin natin ng base pay o yung pay base pay structure na sinasabi nila? This one is the base pay refers to the fixed compensation an employee receive for performing their job duties. So typically determined based on job evaluation, market rates, and internal equity considerations in the Philippines. So, magkano ba ang nare-receive mo? Yan, magkano ba ang nare-receive mo? Sir, 650. Yan po yung halimbawa, hindi ko masyado maano yung exact na minimum natin. So, 650 ang minimum wage. So, yun ang nare-receive mo. That's your base pay. Okay? Yun ang base pay mo. So, ibig sabihin, fixed nga pala talaga siya. Yes. Naka-fix siya. Ngayon, unless may OT. Yan, o yung mga overtime pay. Siyempre, yun ay on top. On top yun ng iyong base pay. Now, minimum wage compliance, sabi, we must adhere to the rates. Yan. And the foundations of this pay, it provides financial stability and reflects the market value of the role itself. Bakit? Kasi yung minimum pay natin na yon para yon sa mga skilled worker. Ay, hindi. Sa mga regular worker natin. Mga ordinary worker, factory workers, etc. etc. Pero pagka kasi may skills, ibang usapan na yon. Kasi skills ang binabayaran doon. O kaya naman, yung mga nasa supervisory position, so iba din. Kaya nakadepende pa rin yan. Pero, there is this so-called base pay o yung pinaka-basic pay mo. Now, aside from the basic pay, meron din tayong variable pay. Variable pay includes compensation elements that are contingent on individual, team, or organizational performance. So, bukod pa ito doon sa base pay na sinasabi natin. Okay? So, ano mga pwedeng isama natin dyan under variable pay? Siyempre, bonus. Yan. Ayun, bonuses, yung 13-month pay, sales commission, and profit sharing contribution. Okay? This may include also stock options, long-term naman to. Okay? To align employees' interest with long-term company growth. Alin yun? Minsan nagbibigay sila dito ng profit sharing. Oo. So pwede kang bumili ng shares of stocks ng ng company. Binibigyan nila ng chance yung mga empleyado nila. Yun. So yun, maganda yun. Now, ano pa ba ang component ng ating compensation system aside sa base pay at saka variable pay? Benefits. Oh, yes. We have mandatory and voluntary benefits. Okay? So the purpose of this one is to contribute significantly to employees' well-being, security, and overall job satisfaction. Ano-ano ba ang mga mandatory? Ibig sabihin, ito ay may batas. Hindi pwedeng i-miss. SSS kung ikaw ay nasa private. GSIS naman kung ikaw ay nasa government. PhilHealth and Pag-ibig. Yan, matik yan guys. Dapat meron. No? Dapat meron. Hindi po pwedeng wala. No? Kasi mandated. Yung mga pwedeng wala, yun yung voluntary. Okay? Pero pag mandated, matik ha. Yung voluntary, yon pwedeng wala. Discretionary perks nga, sabi nga. Discretionary perks as private health insurance, retirement plans, and educational assistance. So, depende. Okay? Depende kung kayang ibigay ng kumpanya. Okay? So, hindi ito mandated. No? Hindi ito automatic. Okay? Next is allowances. Yan. So, ang allowance ganun din. Hindi rin naman automatic. Allowances are additional payments designed to cover specific costs incurred during the course of work. Katulad nga yan. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung sa government, yung RATA, meron. Representation and transportation allowance. Okay? Sa mga private company, meron din mga transportation allowance. Minsan nga, sa transportation allowance nila guys, ang binibigay pa kotse. Di ba? Pinapahiram ng kotse yung mga empleyado nila. Yun. Tapos meron pang pagas yun. Okay? Meron din tayong meal allowance, clothing allowance. Yan. So, although sa government, meron din tayong clothing or uniform allowance. Okay? So, the objective of this is to ensure that employees are not financially burdened by necessary job-related expenses. Yan. So, we provide them. Next is incentives. Yan. So, meron na tayong benefits, meron na tayong allowance. So, next is incentives. Okay? Incentives are rewards. Okay? Rewards given to employees for achieving specific performance or milestone. No? This can be individual o kaya naman group o kaya naman ay organizational. Depende. Okay? Pero an incentive, uh, uh, it's a kind of a reward. Okay? Next is recognition programs. Yeah. So acknowledge achievements to foster a positive culture. Oh, that's good. 'Di ba? That's good. Ah, maraming klase ng recognition. Marami namang klase. So pwedeng ikaw ang ma-recognize as Employee of the Month. Yun, good yun. Okay, o kaya service awards katulad niyan. Recently, yung kaibigan namin, no, na-awardan siya, service award, 40 years in service, o di ba? Now, normally, pagka mga ganon, lalo na sa private, matik yun, may kasamang gift talaga yon. Minsan, relo, mga ganun-ganun. Basta, bukod sa gift, meron pang cash. Sa government, depende. Kung may budget for that, yan meron. So, depende kasi kung meron silang provision na, kunwari, 1,000 per year. So, kung naka 40 years ka, 40,000. So, nakadepende. Okay? So, yan ang ano guys. Ang maganda kasi dito is that there should be really a recognition program. Kasi iba ang impact nito sa mga empleyado, lalo na if employees are aware na sila ay nare-recognize. Mas lalo silang nagiging masipag. Ano. And then, syempre, yung legal compliance. Adherence to the labor code, diba? Under RA 6758, under RA 11466. So this one ensures fairness and protects both the employer and the employees. So yung labor code, yan. Okay? So hindi po pwedeng hindi sundin yan. Nakakalungkot lang na minsan kapansin-pansin na talaga ang number one violator ay ang government institution. Ayan. And the last one is the market competitiveness. This one is to attract and retain talents. Organizations must offer a very inviting compensation package. Diba? Compensation packages that are competitive within the industry. Now, bakit sinabing within the industry? Nakadepende kasi sa industriya. Ganon din with geographic locations. Yan. Kaya lang, no, maganda nga to kasi mawawala na yung regional rate. So, kung ano yung rate sa Metro Manila, yun na rin ang magiging rate pati sa probinsya. Although, sigurado magkakaroon ito ng significant impact doon sa mga, doon sa mga kumpanya. Okay? Pero, still, no, maganda to. No, we have to consider the market competitiveness. Kasi bakit? Baka wala tayong makuha magagandang talent. So, ano dapat mong gawin? You do survey. You conduct salary survey. Mag-benchmark ka, no, mag-benchmark ka under the same industry kung ano na ba ang standard na salary. Baka mamaya ikaw na lang ang pinakamababa. Ganun. Okay? Ano pa pwede natin gawin dito? Adjusting pay scale. Kasi we need to remain competitive. Diba? Kung ang pay scale mo, panahon pa ni Mahom at kopong-kopong, naku, baka wala nang magano sa'yo. Baka wala nang mag-apply sa iyo. Kawawa ka naman. Sige ka. Wala ka na makukuha magaling na talent. Okay? Next is on the policy. Ayan. Policies affecting compensation. Ayan. So we have number one, the compensation and position classification. Ayan. So ito na yung kanina, no? Yung kaninang binanggit natin na under ng RA 6758. Okay? So under 6758, nandyan yan. Compensation and Position Classification. Ayan. Salary Standardization Law. Ayan. So lahat, ito to, lalo na to guys, no? The updates, no? Updates the salary schedule for civilian government personnel. So, kaya yung yung mga government employee, inaabangan yan, no? Kung aangat na ba yung kanilang sweldo. Ayan. Another policy is yung Labor Code of the Philippines, no? Lahat. Ito maganda, lahat sakop. Government, no? O yung private sector employment, mandating minimum wage, overtime pay, holiday pay, 13-month pay. For teacher, we have Magna Carta for public school teacher. Then we also have, by the way, ito yung mga RA nila guys ha, ayan. So, yung compensation and position is RA 758. Ito namang salary standardization law is under 11466. Labor Code of the Philippines, isang ano lang yan, isang buhos yan, Labor Code. Magna Carta for Public School Teacher is RA 4670. The Equal Opportunity for PWD is under 10, RA 10524. So ito yung mandates ng equal pay or equal work for PWD. Okay? So hindi mo sila dapat i-menos at kung sila ay qualified sa trabaho, kailangan mo silang kunin. Ganon. And the Higher Education Modernization Act, this empowers governing boards of state universities and colleges to fix and adjust salaries of faculty and staff under RA 8292. Ayan. So yan naman guys yung mga policy uh, affecting our compensations. And then now we have the theories. Yan. So the different theories of wages. Okay. So, number one, we have the subsistence theory. Yan. So ano nga ba tong subsistence theory na ito? At bakit siya tinawag na subsistence? This theory posits that wages are set at a level sufficient enough, okay? Sufficient enough or sufficient for workers to meet the basic needs. Kumbaga, dapat enough yung pasweldo para siya ay mabuhay ng maayos, na makakabili siya ng pagkain, no? Makakaupa ng rent, makakapagbayad ng renta, makakabili ng damit. Okay? So, kaya minsan no, nakakatawa may nagsasabi na ano na katulad nung Christmas, 'di ba, sabi ₱500 lang sapat na 'yan para sa pang Noche Buena. Eh, yung bang 650 for 8 hours, eh, sapat na ba 'yun para mabuhay ng maayos? Kasi kailangan sa subsistence ano, eh, decent living, 'no? Decent standard of living. Kumbaga dapat sapat. So 'yan ang una. Pangalawa is the wage fund theory. So wages come from a predetermined fixed funds. Individual pays depends on the number of workers sharing it. This one is according to Adam Smith. Now, proposed by Adam Smith, that this theory suggests that wages are paid from a predetermined fund and the amount available is divided among worker. The number of workers and the total fund determines individual wage. However, maraming kritiko to guys, no? This theory oversimplifies wage determinations and doesn't account for dynamic economic factor. Bakit? Halimbawa, ang pondo, halimbawa daw 100. 10 kayo nagtrabaho, ibig sabihin tigsa 10 lang kayo. Ngayon, ang tanong, kung tigsa 10 kayo, tigsa 10 piso kayo, sapat ba yan? O, di ba? Nagiging parang in contrast with subsistence theory. Eh, sapat ba yung 10 pesos? Di ba? Kung hindi, di sa talo rin, di pala pwede. Oh. So parang in contrast with subsistence. Next is the bargaining theory. Wages are determined by negotiations between employers and employees. Now, ito pa rin naman ay nangyayari hanggang ngayon. So magandang theory to. Kaya lang siyempre depende. Depende if you do have the bargaining power. Katulad sa ngayon. Okay? Katulad sa ngayon. Sa panahon ngayon, yes, you can now bargain. Okay? Pero dati kasi hindi ka maka-bargain. No, kasi you don't have the qualifications. Pero ngayon, na meron kang qualifications and the likes, you can really bargain. Diba? You can ask for better salary. Next, we have the marginal productivity theory. So this theory asserts that wages are determined by the marginal productivity of labor, meaning workers are paid according to the additional value they bring to production. While this theory is widely accepted in economic literature, the application in the Philippines is influenced by factors such as education, skills, and industry standards. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, guys, pag sinabi kasi marginal productivity, base sa kung ano ang naitutulong mo o naidadagdag mo o naiaambag mo. Yun yun. So, kung mas marami ka naiaambag, mas maganda. Dapat daw mas maganda ang salary mo. Ganun. Next, efficiency wage theory. Yan. So that's the last one. Employers pay above market rates to boost productivity, reduce turnover, and attract quality talents. So this one is also a good theory kasi nga talaga namang lahat is aiming for that, no? Is aiming for a greener pasture. And syempre, finally, ayan, salary versus wages. So ano nga ba pinagkaiba nito? Ang salary kasi, fixed regular payment. Paid regularly regardless of hours work in a specific day. Pero si wages, pay for the time work. Yun. So, kung ilang oras ang tinrabaho, yun yun. Si salary, fix yan. Kung halimbawa, naka-monthly ka, yun na yun. Yun talaga susweldohin mo monthly. So, as to role type, typically for managerial, supervisory, and professional position, sa wages naman, hindi. Sa kabilang side naman siya. Dito, as to payment frequency, open, paid weekly or bi-weekly, no? Common for skilled and manual labor. So, katulad nga nila, sabi nila, magkaiba when it comes to this. Kasi iba ang sweldo, twice a month, 15th and 30th. Iba naman, talagang 30th lang. So, depende. Then, sa wages, they are overtime entitlement. They have entitlement. Okay? So, pwedeng madagdagan yung ating sweldo. Next, overtime eligibility. Okay? Open exempt from overtime pay depending on the rank. Minsan, sila ay may OTY. Ano yun? Overtime na thank you. Ayan. Sa wages, hindi. Okay? Talagang matik, kailangan bayaran nun. Okay? So, as to compensation concept, ayan, direct compensation, nabanggit ito kanina. And as to labor market theories, okay? Dito naman, dual labor market theories. We have the dual labor market theories. So this one divides the labor market into two segments. The primary sector, which is characterized by stable jobs with good wages and benefits, and the secondary sector, which is consisting of low wage, unstable jobs. In the Philippines, this segmentation is evident in the disparity between formal and informal employment sectors. True. 'Di ba? True, lalo na. Talagang makikita mo yung gap, 'di ba? Na renewal ka lang, renewal ng renewal, gano'n. Human capital theory, according to this, investments in education and training increases workers' productivity and consequently their wages. In the country, the Philippines, higher educational attainment is associated with higher income levels. Kaya they invest in human capital. Next is the labor market segmentation, wherein in this theory it suggests that the labor market is divided into distinct sub-market, okay, each with own sets of rules and characteristics. Okay? Minsan, sabi nga, may disparity pa din. Factors such as race, gender, and educational can influence the segment. Yung issue ngayon between rural and urban area. Yan, di ba? So, labor market segmentation yan. And the last one is the efficiency wage theory. So, dito naman, this theory posits that paying workers above the market rate leads to increased productivity. In some Philippine companies, to maintain an operational edge, they provide higher, no? Higher minimum wage. Why? Kasi gusto nila na mag-stick sa kanila yung kani-kanilang mga empleyadong magagaling. Pagka nga naman nakahanap ng iba yan na mas maganda ang sweldo, baka lumipad pa. So that's why, kumbaga sinisecured na nila. Okay? So, to wrap things up, ito na yan. So, their strategic role, yan, kasi pwede nga natin siya gamitin as a motivational tools para sa ating mga empleyado. Their legal framework, RA 6758, no? O yung position classification, no? And then RA 11466, yung Salary Standardization Act, and the Labor Code. Okay? And then, that's it. Okay? That's it. That's the whole chapter 1. So, hopefully, you will download, yung ating uploaded na module number 1. Okay? And then, kung meron kayong na-miss, balikan nyo lang 'tong videos. Okay? So again, thank you very much and have a nice day.